Cold Cock American Herbal Flavored Whiskey. At Cold Cock, we believe life is about taking your shot. It's about sharing your soul with the people who care to listen, not selling it to whoever will buy it. At Cold Cock, we also believe fine spirits are truly about celebrating the greatest moments in life with true friends. And that's what we strive to put into every bottle of Cold Cock American Herbal Flavored Whiskey. So here's our best wish to whatever you raise your glass for. Take your shot. Cold Cock American Herbal Flavored Whiskey. Must be 21 to drink, and please drink responsibly.
Wait, what do you mean 5 minus X? What is X?
Oh, sweetie, it's just algebra.
It's stupid, and it's not even applicable.
Applicable?
Applicable. It's stupid. Shh. Sorry. It's stupid.
Oh, what a double play!
Let's see it.
That'll be the day. Kings and world leaders. I'm gonna sing it. Cause I get things cooking. You stare, you. How long you drama?
Don't you dare change that station. You're listening to Columbus's newest radio program.
Sweet mother of God, what is the holdup?
This is the Sunday Morning Meltdown with your hosts, Anthony Ant-Man Schaefer, Josh, and the intern Siobhan, exclusively on MusicFamiliaProductions.com.
Whoa. That's what happens when things get really crazy up in the studio early in the morning. Things get messed up. Good morning, Music Familia. We are tuning in this morning from Sunday Morning Meltdown, wakey wakey. We got a brand new Sunday Morning Meltdown for you this morning. Siobhan is getting loaded in, getting loaded up, and we are almost ready to go. I want to give a huge shout out to a couple sponsors right now this morning. Photo Nation AP, my man Dave Sheets. Give him a call, 614-732-9525. Call or text, use the hashtag MFP for 5 to 10% off your first graphic design deal or photo shoot. Also, check out Columbus Events Group, columbuseventsgroup.com, and all the upcoming events for Columbus Events Group are going to be pretty awesome. We got a bunch of events to talk about we're going to be plugging today, and there's going to be lots of commercial spots that are going to be coming up in the next week or two for a lot of the shows that Miss Mary and all the boys and girls at Columbus Events Group have going on. And Lynette's Country Barbecue and Lynette's Children's Charity. MFP is a proud sponsor and partner for Lynette's Country Barbecue and Lynette's Children's Charity. And Siobhan is getting in. We are very excited today because it's a new day. It's going to be 90 freaking degrees outside. Hopefully you guys are going to be able to stay cool today. We got a brand new Douchebag Criminals and a whole lot more. We're going to get into something right now, man, from an awesome band that I love so much right here out of the Columbus area, Leaving Cardboard Houses. I love this band, and these guys, man, I'm telling you, I am telling you, Chris and Kyle, these guys are instrumentally awesome, and I want you guys to check this out, man. This song is One More Silent Night. This is from my dudes, Leaving Cardboard Houses, and Faith Monaghan. We're going to check this out right here. This is about 5 minutes long. Grab some coffee, grab some food. I want to give a shout out to Crimson Cup this morning, giving us our breakfast. Much love to those boys and girls over there. I got me an iced chai. This thing's pretty sweet. And, Patty Cake's Bakery, man. I want to give a huge shout out to Patty Cake's Bakery. I got a Marry Me Blueberry Muffin this morning.
You don't have me on.
There you go.
It's actually just patty cake.
Cake.
Not patty cakes. Patty cake.
Everybody says patty cakes.
That's because they're idiots. It's Patty Cake Bakery.
Well, good morning.
Sorry, I get really
good morning, Siobhan.
I get really defensive over patty cake because I've been eating patty cake since I was like, I don't know, really young. So.
Good morning, Mr. Dave Greenberg. Good morning, Mama Cam. How are you?
Mom.
You all right, Siobhan?
I'm good. I just, I totally need a different setup. We need people to donate to that GoFundMe so we can make shit better.
I love how you make it on them, put it on them. Like, you people need to.
Hey, you know what? Actually, no. Like, the reality is, and that's the perfect segue. The truth is, like, we do what people don't realize is that we actually have put a lot of our own money into making this happen. And up until now, we haven't actually had in return anything. Like, we haven't made profit from what we've done so far. And I don't think people realize that. Like, everything we've done has been your and my money, and we've put it out consistently to make this show happen. And at this point, we can no longer do that. And, you know, so now we need to rely on the people who get something out of the service we provide, because let's be honest, nothing in this world is free. And we're not asking much, just a little bit of help to get some better equipment so you don't have me messing with my mic all the time.
Yeah, that's really what I'm asking for, like, truthfully.
But yeah, I wanted to say that, like, I don't think people realize how much money we've put into making this happen, and how
I don't think they realize what we put into.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've put thousands of dollars into making MFP become a reality.
I've got 20 plus.
You know,
mofos,
yeah,
before they come and they're
like I said, I mean, we've got thousands of dollars in MFP of our own money, and to this point, to this day, other than a few people who I won't name that have actually given something to us for our work, we haven't made anything. And when I say a few, there's one in particular, and it's been a couple $100. So nothing in comparison to, you know, what we've put into it at this point. And diapers are expensive, y'all. Like, can't do it no more.
I think you're getting away from.
But no,
I think you're getting away from the point of why we do this and how we do this and No,
my point is we can't continue to do what we do if we don't get a little assistance.
Right.
That's my point. And we want to continue to do what we do and provide this wonderful service that MFP is for everyone, of being able to help bands promote themselves for much cheaper than what the radio stations will charge, and help people find a one-stop spot to find all the shows that are coming up and not have to search through Facebook and find multiple show flyers and all of those things, you know, and yeah, so...
Well, we're gonna talk more about that. We got This Day Music coming up. We got Love News, Douchebag Criminals, and a whole lot more. I'm really excited about today's show because we got a lot to talk about, and we're actually on time, so we're gonna try to get through all this. We're gonna get into one more right here, one more Silent Night from my favorite band in Columbus right now. One of my favorites. I shouldn't say the favorite. I have many favorites, but
I don't have favorites.
I try not to have favorites.
I can't have favorites. There's too many good. Yeah, I just can't.
But the thing is, though, the truthful thing of it is like I would have more favorites if not every other band tried to have the same sound. And we'll talk about that coming up. But let's check this out. Something a little bit different for you guys. Good morning. It's Sunday Morning Meltdown. Waking up with us, Ant-Man, Siobhan. Let's get it.
Fingertips brush along each brick, cold and rough. Bricks as red as knuckles underneath frayed gloves. Snow and refuse linger against alley walls, like leftover soup clinging to my bowl. A distant street light glow. You don't know my story or where I've come from. All you know is what you see. I have no home, wrapped in blankets on a park bench all alone. Can you hear my heartbeat amidst the falling snow? A distant church bell toll. Do you see my strife? Please, I wanna provide, but I've been beat down by life and I'm torn up inside. I swallow my pride and ask you for your time. You give me nickels and dimes and glance away when I cry. Can you step into my worn out shoes? Step out down by life, and I'm torn up inside. I swallow my pride and ask you for your time. You give me nickels and dimes and glance away when I cry. Can you step into my worn out shoes? Step out from under your roof. Spend the night the way I do. Can you leave your comfy fireside? Face the bitter winter's bite. Stay out here with me tonight, 'cause I can't handle one more silent night. Can you step into my worn out shoes? Step out from under your roof. Spend the night the way I do. Can you leave your comfy fireside? Face the bitter winter's bite. Stay out here with me tonight. 'Cause the things you call street light, church bells and sunshine, I call them home.
One more silent night right there. Leaving cardboard houses with my girl Faith Monaghan. What do you think, Siobhan?
I like it.
A little different, right?
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to fix
No, you're
my
good.
screen
You're fine.
here. Why am I
So,
not-
you know, we were during the break, we were talking just off air about struggle. And some people just don't even know, like, what struggle really is.
It's true.
And, it's funny, because I thought it would be a good segue. You were talking about, oh, look, there's a kitten in the window.
Oh, hey, that's where her black ass went. So, just to make it clear to everyone, I have a black cat, and her name is Chaos, and I refer to her as, the little black asshole sometimes because she does things like that, where she hides in a window or steals my chair and I almost sit on her, and, so it's not racist, it's just because she's black. So, there's that. And now that the puss is out of the room, we're good to go.
Watch it. I'm throwing elbows and throwing puss. Throwing bows and throwing puss. Good stuff.
Oh,
Anyway,
man.
so I figured I should get the record for the longest puss throw.
I like puss punching.
Yeah. I encourage everybody to wake up and grab their puss and throw it across the room. Dave, don't grab Natty and punch her.
Oh, that would be bad.
That would be bad.
She's got a hell of an arm on her.
She does. And she's got a crop. She manages horses.
That's true. Although he might like that.
I kind of do. And anyway. So this morning is brought to you by Patty Cake and Crimson Cup. Good stuff right here. Good stuff. I know Mom's like, I want some of your muffin.
Right.
No, you can't have my muffin. Good morning, Autumn Elizabeth. Mr. Paul, what's going on, Duck? I'm the only one allowed to call him Duck, by the way. Nobody.
Well, I can.
Well, yeah.
I'm the only one other than you.
I love my brother. I miss him so much, man. I haven't went frisbee golfing with him yet this summer. I'm gonna have to just clear my schedule. I'm gonna have to tell my wife and tell the workplace and tell everybody, like, look, I'm going to hang out with my brother today. I haven't had a chance to go frisbee golfing with him. I'm sure he's mad at me about that.
Yeah, he definitely enjoys those times with you.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to clear my schedule and make sure that happens. So, Siobhan, everybody takes crap for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell them why they shouldn't?
So, there's a girl that grew up in a cave and killed another child to survive. So, unless you can top that, shut your mouth. So, Christina Rickardson and her brother Patrick are who we're going to talk about today. So she wrote a book, and in her new book, Never Stop Walking, a memoir of finding home across the world, Christina Rickardson, 35, of Umeå, Sweden, chronicles the extraordinary and sometimes incredibly violent journey which took her from cave dweller to the founder of the street kid and orphanage charity, the Kale Grow Foundation. Here she shares her remarkable story with the Post's June Ridley. The growling was enough to make my mother and me shake with fear, and then we saw it, a jaguar on top of our cave hunting for prey. It was only time I saw a big cat up close, and it was in the crude hideaway we called a home for the first 5 years of my life. Jaguars are shy, but their bite is deadly when they're hungry or feel threatened. Fortunately, this one bolted. The jaguar was among many creatures which threatened our existence, living rough on the outskirts of town of Dimitra in the Mainsgren region of Brazil. Venomous snakes, spiders, and scorpions were common. I would wake up in the night to swat away giant poisonous centipedes crawling over my body. My mom, Petrona, whom I called Mamé, had brought me to the caves in April 1983 when I was 15 days old. Before that, she lived with her abusive brother. My dad wasn't on the scene. Living on the edge of civilization was normal. I mostly adored the plants and animals because the colors, sights, and sounds were magical. Achingly poor, we would eat birds killed by slingshot and regularly hike to Dimithia to sell dried leaves and flowers and buy rice. The rocky walk was long. Please, can we stop? I would plead, my feet bleeding because I had no shoes. But Mamé would carry on telling me stories about God, Jesus, and all the saints. We came close to starvation, but I often look on those years as my best years. Mamé always had time for me, and I got all of her love. We chatted for hours, talking in the excuse me. I know, right? We chatted for hours, taking in the beauty of the wilderness, feet dangling over the mouths of caves. I gained confidence from hunting and scavenging, and still recall my immense pride when I claimed my first bird, which we grilled over at our tiny fire pit. It made a good meal with fruit, berries, and nuts. You're ready to hunt jaguar now, Christina, joked Mamé, using my given Brazilian name. Then, one night, when I was about 5 years old, we were chased out of our home by a group of men with dogs. Perhaps they were the landowners. They didn't catch us, but Mamé knew it was time to move on. We walked to the city of São Paulo because we were poor and my mom struggled to find a job. We ended up in one of the favelas, the Brazilian slums. There we begged for food and money. Some people were kind, some spat and kicked at us, some called us cockroaches and street rats. Others pretended they did not see us. To them, we did not exist. My mom would disappear for long periods, and I learned to fend for myself. I turned to other street kids for help. That's how I came to know a little girl named Camille. She became my best friend. We did everything together. We shared all the food we found equally between us. Camille had an amazing ability to tell stories, and she enthralled with her tales of princes and princesses. They took the pain away from living this reality, at least for a while. Together we survived by stealing from food markets, rummaging through giant piles of trash, and protecting each other. One night when I was nearly 7, Camille and I decided to escape the noise and nightly shootings in the shanty towns and sleep in a nicer area of São Paulo. Waking up to the sound of voices, we got scared, but decided to look around the corner of the building. We saw men, military police with guns. 5 children stood in a row in front of them. We knew what that meant. All street children do. One of the men spotted us and yelled, "There, we have some more, get them." Camille and I ran for our lives. I was the faster runner, and she got caught. I was on my way back to help her when I heard her panicked cries telling me, "Run." I fled. Once I was sure I was no longer being followed, I returned to the scene. Peering from behind another building, I saw Camille standing with the 5 children. While I was trying to figure out some way to rescue her, something odd happened to her forehead. As the bullet hit her, her body fell to the ground in the strangest way. My hands came up to my mouth to stifle a scream. I turned and ran as fast as I could. I lost my friend, my sister, that night. I also understood how little our lives were worth. Time means nothing to a child on the street, but it wasn't long afterwards I was responsible for taking one of those lives. I hadn't eaten in days and found myself in an alley sorting through garbage. I discovered a half-eaten piece of flatbread with refried beans inside. Suddenly I heard a boy's voice. "Give me my food," he demanded. "It's mine. I found it," I retorted. He punched me in the face and we fought really hard. Grappling on the ground, I heard a clinking sound next to me. A big piece of glass bottle. I picked it up in my hand. I was mad, sad, and angry, but most of all, I felt like I was being treated unfairly. As the boy scooped up the bread and started to walk away, I screamed and ran at him with all my might. He turned around, and without thinking, still moving, I jabbed that piece of glass into his belly as hard as I could.
Jesus.
At first, I felt nothing, then my hand got warm. Blood gushed from the wound, and I took the bread from the boy as he screamed and doubled over in pain. After I'd run a fair way, I started eating, but then I could start excuse me. Then I started vomiting. The realization of what I'd done hit me. I thought, "Forgive me, Camille, forgive me, God." Later, I heard the other kids in the neighborhood talking about a boy who had been found dead in the alley. People might judge me, but I've had to live with this my whole life since I was 7. The only reason I've been able to forgive myself at all is that I know I never meant for that boy to die. I just wanted my food back. Every day on the streets was a battle for survival. I don't know how many hours of day or days I stayed under a staircase where Camille and I used to sleep. Eventually, my mom found me. After I told her everything, she said, "Christina, promise me something. Promise me that whatever happens in your life, never stop walking." I didn't understand, and I asked, "Where shall I go?" She replied, "It doesn't matter. Just never stop walking." By now, Mama had a new baby, Patrick, and I would take him everywhere in a cardboard box a little bigger than a shoebox, using rags for diapers and newspapers as blankets. I loved him with all my heart. When I was 7 and Patrick was 10 months, Mama placed us temporarily in an orphanage. God had told her to do this, and she said she would come for us once she had settled into a job. She visited every Sunday until, for some reason, the orphanage refused her. One day, there was a commotion outside the gates. Mama was screaming, "You can't do this to me. Why can't I see my children?" It was a desperate yell, full of fear, rage, and helplessness. The staff tried to stop me, but I ran to the gates and reached my hands out to touch hers. "Mommy," I sobbed. An employee started pulling me away from the gate and prying my hands from my mom's. I yelled no over and over. I was picked up and dragged inside. "I love you, Mommy," I cried. Her yelling got quieter and quieter until I couldn't hear it anymore. We were adopted in June of 1991 when I was 8 and Patrick was nearly 2. Out of 200 kids at the orphanage, we were chosen by a middle-class, childless Swedish couple in their mid-40s. Although our life in the orphanage could be brutal because of the discipline and bullying by other kids, I still felt a panic as our new parents put us in the taxi. I thought about my mama and was grief-stricken. We hadn't even been able to say goodbye. Our new life in Vindeln, Sweden was the exact opposite of Sao Paulo. There was barely a stray piece of paper on the streets, let alone a mountain of garbage. There was a midsummer festival and people were dancing around with a pole of flowers. I thought, where the heck have I ended up? The culture shock was jarring. Renamed Christina by my new parents, Lillian and Stuart Rickerson, a teacher and timber merchant, I shrugged off Christina. I learned Swedish and forgot Portuguese in a matter of months. I called them Mom and Dad almost from the get-go. After years of fighting for survival and against hunger and abuse, I had hope for a future. In January 2015, when I was 31, that my past caught up with me during a particularly stressful period. I had been tucking my issues away for most of my life, but I looked in the mirror one day and felt like a non-person. My adoptive mother tragically had died from cancer when I was 15. I loved my family, but I had long struggled with my two identities and needed to reconcile Swedish Christina and Brazilian Christina. 6 months later, traveling back to Brazil for the first time after 24 years of nerve-wracking, I didn't know what I would discover, even if Mame was still alive. I visited the orphanage and with the help of a researcher tracked down my mother in a town of Belo Horizonte, 350 miles from Sao Paulo. Mame was 67 and living with her 2 sisters. When there were three women to greet me at the gate, I recognized my mother instantly. I saw her smile and heard her voice and was transported back to my early childhood. It was then that I learned that Mame had suffered from schizophrenia all her life. Now she was on medication and back in the care of her family. She'd walked the streets of Sao Paulo for 15 years looking for me and Patrick after we moved. Nobody at the orphanage had told her we were alive and well in Sweden. A court had authorized our adoption in her absence. Patrick, now 28 and a welder, immediately got on a plane to join the reunion. We have nothing but admiration for our mother's bravery. Since then, I have flown to Brazil 6 times to see Mame. We chat over the internet, and whenever I see her, we sit and hold hands, feeling each other's touch as security. Meanwhile, we visited the caves near Dominican. Excuse me, a 6-hour drive from Belo Horizonte. As I stood at the top of the ridge, I thought back on everything that's happened. Looking down, I waved to the mother who in 8 years gave me enough love, courage, and strength to keep walking forward through my life. Yeah. I don't think anybody can say here in this area that I talk to on a daily basis that they've had it that rough.
Yeah.
Like, you want to talk about struggle, that's struggle.
Yeah. That's...
And there's a picture of her and her brother sitting on top of the cave that she spent the first years of her life in.
Wow.
So I'll throw that up on our Facebook page. But yeah, I kind of almost want to look on Amazon and see if I can find her book. And read it because I have a feeling that it would be a good read.
You know, I'm always fascinated by what other people have to say, you know, when it comes down to situations like that. So I'm curious what everybody has to say, man. Weigh in on that. If you're hanging out in the chat room, good morning to you. I want to give a huge shout out to all the Music Familia that are hanging out live with us. And I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that's hanging out with us on the Facebook Live because I have my little device here and trying to get more people over. Siobhan, I tagged you on Facebook for you. And I want to give a huge shout out to some birthdays. We're going to be doing horoscopes and stuff like that in the 9 o'clock hour. But Dave Mosley, William Pate today, Greg Hastings, John Darling, Bob Steele. Happy birthday, gentlemen.
Oh, that's right. It is Bill's birthday. Well, happy birthday, you old ass mofo.
Right.
I know there's going to be a fire and beer today if it's his birthday, so we might have to stop by for the bonfire.
Maybe. Yeah. So we'll do that. Let's get into some new stuff right here. I want to wake everybody up. So I got some OC Lovely. This is out of Columbus, Ohio. So everybody is like wondering what kind of stuff I listen to all the time. And so this is kind of electronica. This is like acid jazz. So we're going to check this out. Let me know what you think. lifeless right there. Then falls the sky. You're ruffling papers there, Siobhan. Getting stuff in order. I want to give a huge shout out right now to Photo Nation AP, my man Dave Sheets. Call him 614-732-9525. Check him out. If you use hashtag MFP, you can get 5 to 10% off your first graphic design deal or digital media service. Or photography.
Turn my mic off for a second.
Turn your mic off. So, what's going on, Music Familia? Hanging out Sunday Morning Meltdown. It's almost 9 o'clock. It's 8:47 Eastern Standard Time. Make sure that you guys get your horoscopes in. 9 a.m. We're doing the horoscopes. Make sure you guys get your birthdays in so Siobhan can get you taken care of properly. Oh, Siobhan.
Yes.
Make sure you check out Columbus Events Group.
I love them.
Yes.
Mary Kaufman's amazing, and
Yes.
so are all the guys. There are too many to name, but yeah.
Too many to name.
Yeah.
Right. Like, hey, the big dude,
Joe.
the big dude. Like, I don't know, he's the big dude. Like, I don't know, man. So it's funny story. I was at Muddy Creek at an Upchurch show, and I couldn't get over the fence, and that mofo let me use his shoulder to climb over and get over into the pit, because wee little Ant-Man just was not going to make that hike by himself. So thank you, Joe. I appreciate you, man. And ever since then, me and him have been like this.
He's a good guy.
Great dude, man. Great
They
dude.
all are.
Yes, they are. They are. I love it. And Lynette's Country Barbecue and Lynette's Children's Charity. MFP is a proud partner of Lynette's Children's Charity. Love that charity. And we're working on a fire truck. And, oh, man, it's coming along so swimmingly. So swimmingly. What's going on, Siobhan? How are you today?
I'm doing all right.
Are you ready for this heat?
No, not at all. Can I just hide in the AC for the rest of my life until this is over?
I know, right? So check it out. So,
and let me just say, all you mofos going to like Red, White, and Boom or any fireworks for that matter, y'all are crazy.
93 degrees on Wednesday. Happy 4th of July, by the way.
Happy, no thank you.
I want to give a huge shout out to, seriously though, all of our men and women, our soldiers, our troops, everybody that's away from the families that are going to be watching the show. Because believe it or not, we have a couple military bases that watch our show. I see the analytics. I see you.
It's awesome.
I see you out there. Thank you for your service. Probably my cousin listening on a sub, traveling around with a bunch of stuff strapped to his back. Man.
Wait, I thought you weren't supposed to talk about that.
I'm not. But I get one phone call a year from with a plus sign and nothing but zeros with no spaces. I'm like, oh, hey, that's my cousin. Yeah, so check out your weather,
or
man.
the Secret Service finally catching up to you.
all that office porn, I'm telling you. So if you want to check out your weather, man, right now, 94. I got to get used to doing the weather, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So Sunday morning today, we're looking at 94, low of 74. Monday, it's going to be maybe some chances of rain, 90, low of 72. Tuesday, you're looking at maybe another chance of rain, 20-30% chance of rain. And the funny part about it is the humidity only goes up from here. 88 to 77 or 74 is your low. Wednesday, happy 4th of July, partly sunny. 93 is a high. 73 is a low.
Do you have the feels like temperatures on there? Because that's what really matters. Because it's going to feel like 110
So on Wednesday, I wasn't trying to rub it in, Siobhan, but on the 4th, on the 4th, it's actually 109 degrees feels like on Wednesday. By 5 p.m., it should be 109. Should feel like 109. Whew.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah. And the rest of the week, Thursday and Friday, for the rest of you guys who have holiday pay and holiday time off, Thursday and Friday, high at 90, and Friday, high at 87. Both days are low at 73 to 68. So, I mean, you're not getting much of a break. And Saturday, Sunday, 86, 87 high. Yeah, man, crazy, dude. Just to think about Ohio weather. And I was looking at, Siobhan, you've been to California, I know, but I was looking at Death Valley yesterday. Their temperature yesterday, 115 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
115 what? Like, at that point, just lather on the suntan lotion. Let me lay outside real quick on some and just rotate me. Ding, rotate. And I mean, that's the fastest suntan plan I've ever heard in my life.
Pretty much.
How do you survive out there? Like, what? I mean, is it really? Everybody's like, it's just a dry heat. There's a difference. Like, is it really that big of a difference compared, like, heat-wise? Like, is it tolerable?
It depends on. So this is the thing. So for me, it's tolerable because it's a dry heat, and you know that's a lot better to me. Now some people are just like, no, I don't like heat in general. And, you know, and then, okay, well, then you don't really care whether it's dry or humid. You're going to hate it either way. So it really just depends on the person. Like, if you can stand just heat in general without humidity, then it's not so bad. But, I mean, it's still balls ass hot. Like, right. I mean, hot is hot. 110 is hot no matter what. Like, I remember when I was younger, when I was living in California, there was a time I went to one of the secondhand stores and I found this badass shirt that I really liked, and it was like the pleather PVC or whatever, and then the back was like mesh, right?
Oh shit.
And I was going out that night, and of course I was younger then, so I wore stuff like that every day because whatever. I love that you followed up with I was younger then. Yeah. Oh my god, I was like 15. So yeah, I mean, anybody who knew me in that time, I was considered a goth, so I didn't care. I wore stuff like that. Let me tell you, that might have been the day that broke me on that, because holy shit, I like my sweat was sweating. That's how hot it was that day. And then having that on top of it, and of course it fit really tight, and there was no breathing or moving room, and yeah, never again. Like, no dress breathing. Appropriately for the heat. That's all I gotta say.
My first car, or actually my second car, I had leather seats.
Oh yeah,
and I went to and I was in football at the time. I was a wide receiver, and we were doing 2-a-days. And anybody who is from my home state, from Michigan, or from that state up north, anybody's from my hometown, they know how hot it can get there. And Siobhan, you've been to my hometown, and it's a heat unlike any kind of heat it's different. It's just different.
Well, and because you've got all kinds of elements there because of like the water and everything, and it just changes altitude and so many factors.
And, I went out there, did my 2-a-days, and mind you, we're talking about the Varsity Blues style movie 2-a-days, where you go till you puke, and you get up, and you go, and then you go again till you puke. And we were up at 5 a.m., and I left my windows down, and we were up at 5 a.m., and I did my 2-a-days, got down at like noon, 1 o'clock, went to go home. Forgot to take and put my pants back on. I just had my little shorts on from 2-a-days, and I had my shin pads on. I didn't take those on, so I had those like stretchy pants, the football pants. Well, I drove home, and I just was like, all right, I'm just gonna. It's gonna be all right. I'm just gonna jump in there, get home, whatever. By the time I got home, my backs and my legs were burnt or blistered red, and I had a football game that following Thursday night, and my scabs, my heel was not healed up all the way, and I was going through, and I got tackled, and it popped all the blisters on the back of my leg that night at the football game, and that was the worst experience of my entire life. Having to play football with that just oozing out on the back of my leg, and just that sunburn pain. I'll never forget it, man. My daughter's never going to experience it because I'm going to lather the shit out of her.
That's horrible. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
I actually, in high school, I had a friend. He had an old... we called her Mustang Sally, because it was the old Mustang with the soft top, and she was red, and and I fixed that car up for him and got her running again. It was his first real car, and he came to pick me up one day after he got her running. He showed up in my house. He's like, "Come on, let's go for a ride." I was like, "Are you fucking crazy? He goes, what? I'm like, it's the middle of summer. You have the top down. I have shorts on, and those are leather seats. He goes, oh, yeah, I totally didn't think about that. I was like, yeah, you got something to sit on the seat because I'm not getting in otherwise.
Right. Absolutely. I mean,
you know, back then I didn't wear shorts that were comfortable. I wore shorts that were cute. And so, you know, they were short shorts. And yeah, no, I'm good. I'm smarter than that.
I want to give a huge shout out.
I know better.
I want to give a shout out to your Aunt Sandra, by the way. Like, because she rocks the comfortableness to the full extreme.
Yeah, I feel that, like, as I've gotten older, I've kind of slowly started to go into the realm of what I consider to be the Aunt Sandra attire. So just a little background. She's a retired Columbus police officer. She did everything from street cop to narcotics to flying the helicopter to being the fugitive detective when she retired. So, I mean, she's done everything, and she's kind of a badass. No, she is a badass. So she is all about the comfortable stuff now because, you know, she had to wear business casual and whatnot when she was working, and then she was in, you know, uniform before that. And so she's like, yeah, I'm going to wear whatever I want now. So she wears like cargo shorts, men's cargo shorts, and super lightweight like t-shirts and t-shirt style things, you know, nothing real fancy. And like, this is the woman that will open a car door up and stand in a parking lot of Target and change into shorts because it's too hot out. With no regard. Like, she'll attempt to, you know, kind of hide herself or whatever, but she's like, well, I mean, I've pissed behind every dumpster in the city, so what's it matter?
Oh, on that note, Siobhan, we're going to get into this. This is Fat Bottom. This is from Wayward Sons. We're going to check this song out right here. This is a comedy song. Hope you guys like it. And when we come back, we're going to do horoscopes. Get your horoscopes in. Tell us your birthdays. That way we can read your horoscopes. And you can decide if you need to buy a lottery ticket or not. Sponsored by Photo Nation AP. We'll be right back after this.
Are you gonna take me home tonight? Ah, down beside that red firelight. Are you gonna let it all hang out? Fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. Hey, I was just a skinny lad, never knew no good from bad, but I knew life before I left my nursery. Left alone with big fat Fanny, she was such a naughty nanny. Big big woman, you made a bad boy out of me. I've been singing with my band, cross the wire, across the land, and I've seen every blue-eyed floozy on the way. But their beauty and their style went kind of smooth after a while. Take me to them dirty ladies every time. Ah, won't you take me home tonight? Ah, down beside your red firelight. Ah, and you give it all you got. Fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. Fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. Hey, listen here. I got mortgages and homes. I got stiffness in the bones. Ain't no beauty queens in this locality, I tell ya. Oh, but I still get my pleasure. Still got my greatest treasure. Hey, big woman, you gon' make a big man of me. Ah, won't you take me home tonight? Ah, down beside your red firelight. Ah, and you give it all you got. Fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. Fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. Get on your backs and ride on them. Ooh,
kings and world leaders. I'm gonna sing it.
Cause I get things cooking. You stare, you.
How long your drama?
Don't you dare change that station. You're listening to Columbus's newest radio program.
Sweet mother of God, what is the holdup?
This is the Sunday Morning Meltdown with your hosts, Anthony Antman Schaefer, Josh, and the intern Siobhan. Exclusively on musicfamiliaproductions.com.
Yeah.
We really have to get a new intro.
We're gonna make one.
You know, it's funny because every time I hear it, it almost frustrates me in a sense because I'm like being called the intern in it, and Josh was more an intern than I was. I just,
So we'll make it
just gotta
today.
say.
So we'll make it today, Siobhan. We will make it today.
Speaking of Josh, I hope you and the family are well.
Miss your
we
face,
haven't talked
brother.
to you in a while, so I
Yeah.
hope all is well.
Well, he's a hard-working blue-collar man.
Dude, he is one of the hardest working mofos I know.
Yep.
Like,
And
holy crap.
the band just threw out new merch,
Right.
And a new album, and they've been playing to participate in the incarceration concert. So
Nice.
so hopefully they were able to get in there. Hopefully they did well. I know voting ended at midnight the other night, so it's 9:03, Siobhan. It's horoscope
It
time.
is.
I'm excited.
Well, let's see here. Let me pull
I'm
this
looking for
I was
birthdays as we
gun
speak.
accessory shopping. Apologies.
Oh, you're fired.
Well, I've been looking for a new holster because my my gun fell out of my holster. I totally had a
Holy crap! You
Yeah.
did an FBI agent.
I
You
had
did
an
a
FBI.
backflip?
Yeah, I had an FBI agent moment, but I wasn't doing nearly anything as stupid as him. Yeah, so I was getting some stuff out of my car the other day, and I had to lean over in my car into the back seat on the floor because stuff had fallen onto the floor. And when I leaned over, it was just enough that my gun slid straight down my back into the seat, and I was like, "Well, can't have that happen." So I've been in search of a new holster since then, or someone who does leather working that can put a strap on mine, because I'd actually prefer to stay with the holster I have. It is very comfortable and I do like it. And, likelihood of finding one that's as comfortable as this one.
I'm not really.
me.
I had some leather work done. I had a leather case made, and I like it. It's durable. It's great. But it's getting to the point where it's getting loose. And,
Right.
And I'm really debating. I think I'm just gonna break down and spend the $75.
Yeah, I was looking at Black Rhino concealment, and they have some really nice style heron is what they call
Yeah,
them,
the
appendix. And
Yeah.
yeah, it might actually, because they're specialized to be by brand, and these particular ones are Kydex, which I like. And they also have a holster.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways.
Horoscopes.
Yeah. Sorry. I was kind of trying to waste some time because nobody seems to participate in horoscopes anymore. I almost feel like I shouldn't even do them anymore. I'm just saying.
Wow.
Like, it's literally like 3 people every time.
Wow. All right.
So, that's kind of why I post them up to the website or up to the Facebook, because I feel like nobody ever really gets
You want to
them.
give them some time?
No, I guess we'll go ahead with
right.
it and go from there.
All right.
So for those of you who your birthday is today, happy birthday, and here's your horoscope. Your passion for a social or political cause will come alive, and it's more than likely that it will take up a large slice of your time and energy. That's okay, but don't neglect the people who love you. They should be part of your causes as well.
Your mom, she says, "Hey, we 3 people count." What's going on, Ryan? Good morning. Good morning. What's going on, Joe? How's it going?
Well, for you, Mama, here's the Geminis. No one doubts you have courage, but some people may wonder if you have enough common sense to go with it. You will get the chance to prove you do by doing something amazing over the coming week, and do it in a rational way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. I'm going to take that.
Right.
What about me?
Let's see. So for you, Mr. Virgo, Make your presence felt on the work front and make sure others know that you are entitled to be treated with respect. You may have a reputation as a bit of a workhorse, but that does not mean you must do it all for everyone who demands it.
Well,
that's too perfect.
Well,
yeah. What you got to say about that?
So, all right. So September 7th.
Let me go with Aquarius here for good old Photo Nation.
Oh yeah.
You will do things that shock those you live and work with over the next few days, and it's good that you are in the mood to shake things up. But don't shake them up so much that people start avoiding you for the sake of their peace of mind. So don't be Crazy Dave.
Don't be, yeah, right.
And you said funny. September 7th?
Yeah.
That's Virgo as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Right on. Nice.
What else we got?
Let's see here. What about Libra? Good morning, Diana. Go ahead and get your horoscopes in. Good morning, Sheila. Hope all is well with you ladies. Good morning, good morning.
Let's see. So, Libra, you need to find the confidence to step into the spotlight and let employers and other important people know who you are and what you can do. Don't worry that they might think you are showing off. It's about time you took a starring role.
Huh. Yeah.
That's pretty decent.
Diana says November 7th.
Okay. Let's see. Scorpio. Think before you act this week, and even then, act only... Okay. Think before you act this week. Well, it's just like she's got... this one particular has act like 3 times in 3 seconds, so...
Act. Do it.
Think before you act this week, and even then, act only if you know it is absolutely necessary. There are some days that are made for taking it easy, for sitting back, chilling out, and watching the busy world go by, and this is one of them.
Wow.
I think that extra act was an extra act.
Right, an extra act.
It threw me off, so it wasn't my fault, because it said, if I read it the way it's wrote, it actually says, think before you act this week, and even then act if you know it is absolutely. Yeah, so that's why it messed me up.
Oh, contraire.
She didn't proofread that very well today.
What about Capricorn?
Capricorn. If someone urges you to show your love by spending even more cash on them, you might like to rethink your relationship. Money and statuses may be important to you both, but that does not mean you must break the bank to keep them happy.
Huh.
Don't be a sugar daddy.
Don't be right.
Or sugar mama.
Or I was gonna say,
depending.
Yeah, right. So speaking, that's a great segue. So my wife is no longer my sugar mama. Well, no, not 100%, not 100%, like 40, 45, 50%. Like what's almost half and half, almost. I got the job, Siobhan, at T100. And I found out that in 6 months, their goal for me is to have my own on-air spot.
Nice.
In 6 months. So, and I'm going to be doing weather and traffic.
Fun.
In the next couple weeks. Yeah, so I start training tomorrow for that. So, it might change our show things, but we're going to try to do our best to not affect the show and do what we need to do. But
I was going to say it means that you'll be working the overnight on Saturdays, so we may have to change the Sunday show.
Maybe.
To maybe Sunday evening.
Maybe.
So.
We're open to ideas, so let us know what you guys think about that. We're going to get into some new music here. I'm going to get us something into the local area here. So what do you look at? What kind of genre do you want to hear from this morning?
I don't know, because we still haven't organized everything, so it's hard to pick something because nothing's
pop, hip hop, rock, indie.
Let's go with indie. We did an indie one earlier. Let's stick with the indie theme.
All right. This is my man Todd C.M. Stone. I love this dude, and this is I couldn't ask for more.
will follow you down. Follow your sound. Love is lifted up my soul. Brought me to your door. I couldn't ask for more. I couldn't ask for more. I'm slipping from the sun. Our life has just begun. The magic in our touch. This love is such a love. I couldn't ask for more. I couldn't ask for more. Follow you down. We follow your sound. Love is lifted up my soul. Brought me to your door. I couldn't ask for more. I couldn't ask for more. I couldn't ask for more. We are separate from the sun. Our life has just begun. Feel the magic in our touch. This love is such a rush. I couldn't ask for more. I couldn't ask for more. I couldn't ask for more. I couldn't ask for more.
I couldn't ask for more. That was my man Todd C.M. Stone. I couldn't ask for more. Some new stuff right there. Oh boy, what's going on, Music Familia? Thank you for waking up with us. Sunday Morning Meltdown, sponsored by Photo Nation AP. My man David Sheets handling all our professional photography and digital media services. Give him a call, 614-732-9525. Call or text. And you can write him an email also, photonationap@outlook.com. Send a message and use the subject line, hashtag MFP, for 5 to 10% off your first graphic design deal, media, service, or photography. Shout out to Columbus Events Group as well, serving the greater Columbus area for, more than 30 years, I'd say, if not more. And they are one hell of a concert promoter and promotions group and events group. I love them. Mary Kaufman, Carla, all the big guys, all the security, all the boys and girls over there who hold it down. Much love to you guys. And Lynette's Country Barbecue, Lynette's Children's Charity. Yeah. Barbecue all day long. What's going on, Mr. Larry Trimmer? Good morning, sir. So check this out. I want to throw this in there. So we'll see what you think about this. Bam. So this is what happens when you're Justin Biebs and you decide that you want to have a $500,000 Lambo delivered to your location. And this is what that $500,000 Lambo looks like. It's red, but in this case, it's a very good thing. He got a brand new luxury whip dropped off at his luxury hotel. JB's special delivery went down Friday at the Montage Resort in Laguna Beach, California, when a flatbed truck arrived with a brand new custom Lamborghini Aventador. So I said it like that because a lot of people don't know how to pronounce it. Aventador. So with a price tag of likely well over $500,000. Yeah. What do you think about that, Siobhan? How does that make you feel?
You don't want to know how it makes me feel. Let's just leave it at that.
I mean,
more money than brains.
Yeah.
More money than brains.
Well, you know, I mean, theoretically speaking. And so there's another one. There's another image for you there. So that's the image of him being dropped off. And so I don't know. We're told Biebs took some video and admired the flashy red sports car for a bit, as did all the passerbys, everybody who was walking by. This before hopping in, taking the 730 horsepower ride for a test drive. Hopefully Bieber didn't have to back the car into any tight spots or up any steep hills. And we certainly hope this Lambo gets treated more kindly than his last one, because as you remember, he forgot to set the parking brake on the last one.
I was to say, I thought he wrecked it in some form or fashion.
He forgot to set the parking brake.
Wow.
And he was on an incline.
Is that kind of like letting your foot slip off the pedal and rolling back into a dumpster and breaking out your mirror? You know who you are.
Not even your mirror, your whole back window.
Yeah.
Fool.
Or I said mirror, I meant window.
Yeah, your whole back window, you fool.
You know who you are. You know who you are.
Speaking of, you know who you are, this day in music, I want to give a huge shout out to all the older peeps, the much respect peeps out there who are been around the block longer than me. And how about this one? 1972, Neil Diamond went to #1 on his U.S. singles chart with Song Blue, his second U.S. #1 and number 14 hit in the U.K. And for those 80s babies out there, 83, a New Jersey-based quintet calling themselves Bon Jovi signed to Phenogram's Mercury Records, although they'd also been considering the name Johnny Electric. A lot of people didn't know that. But what do you think, Siobhan, like if it would have been Johnny Electric instead of Bon Jovi?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, I would like to assume that
Slippery When Wet.
The music would, you know, speak for itself, but that's not always the case. So.
Right. Slippery When Wet by Johnny Electric. I just don't.
Yeah.
Going down in the blaze of glory, like, yeah, I don't know if it would have played. I don't know if their success would have been as big.
Yeah, it's very possible that they wouldn't have.
The group has long since sold over 130 million records worldwide and performed in more than 2,600 concerts in over 50 countries. For more than 34 million fans, one of the longest standing concert records in the world. Talk about getting around.
Right?
Making lots of girls excited for lots of years, Bon Jovi has.
Oh, yeah.
I think my mom was probably one of them. Yours too?
Maybe.
I can see your mom being a Journey chick.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or a Styx chick.
She was... Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah?
I don't know.
Good morning, Ray
Yeah,
Shonk.
Styx I think she did listen to. I think.
Bill Gillian says, must be nice. We'd be happy with a dependable vehicle.
Right. Totally. I'd be happy with something that actually had AC in it.
Diane says, your broadcast keeps freezing, by the way. Yeah, social media, YouTube, it's been weird. Like, they've been changing things for a minute, and I don't know. I adjusted the settings as best as I possibly can. But all the settings, all the outputs, everything is good. So I apologize for anybody who's having an issue with it. Good morning, Rusty. How's it going? Diana was talking earlier. She said that I'll be taking it easy because I'm having a bad time with pain in my whole body, like I ran a marathon 100 times. I wanted to suggest maybe going to cbdhemphealth.com or maybe checking out Delta Liquids, and I could have Siobhan make a post for those.
Delta Liquids, I think, is probably a little cheaper, but they...
Don't die.
Excuse me. Speaking of CBD, hit that a little harder than I meant to.
Yeah.
Delta Liquids mostly has just vape liquids. Excuse me. However, they have recently expanded some, and now they have gummies. They have cooking olive oil.
I suggest the balms, too.
A couple of other things as well. Now, Hemp Health does have the wide variety of things. Like I said, Delta Liquids has less. And I'm trying to find. So they used to be something else, and then they had to, with the whole issues with
So I'll tell you what I'll do. I will have
government and whatnot. They had to change their name, so it's actually DeltaCBD.com now. It used to be Delta Liquids, but they changed their name. It's now Delta Botanicals.
Okay.
So I have that site. Yeah,
post it in the Facebook Live because I'm on the go on my page and then there in the Facebook Live. You can post it in there if you want. That because I know YouTube will be mean to you.
Yeah, it doesn't like
jerks.
It doesn't like me.
Anyway,
that's okay. Let's see here. Okay, so
I just want to give a huge shout out to all of our music familia that have been listening
that's
this
right.
morning.
It lets me post as MFP on yours.
We have because I gave you permission. So we have 370 subscribers. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody who's been a part of that and subscribed to our YouTube channel. You guys can do that from musicfamiliaproductions.com. You can check out our live shows and our past shows all right there in the archive on musicfamiliaproductions.com. We can get Siobhan to kindly maybe put a link in the MFP for us in there.
Yes, I can do that. And just as well, so that everyone knows, they do have bulk ordering options on Delta Botanicals. So anytime you buy 2 or more of something, they start dropping the price on the amount for it as well. So, and there's a rewards program as well, which is part of why I like them in particular. But again, like I said, they're more of a vape site than anything else for CBD. So,
yeah. Right on. Well, it's 9:26. Oh man, it is gonna be a hot one today. Make sure you guys stay hydrated, and if you got pets, make sure you don't leave them outside for too long.
No, and definitely, I wish I had those to put up there today. So actually, I can send them to you and we can throw them in. So I was at my vet's office the other day and they had these really great reminder signs up. And I had meant to implement them into the show previously, and I didn't get the chance to do it. But it's regarding the temperatures of things when it's this hot out. So here we go. So hot asphalt awareness. If the air temp is 77, the asphalt temp is 125. 86, it's 135. 87, it's 143. At 125 degrees Fahrenheit, skin destruction can happen in 60 seconds. And that is from the Journal of American Medical Association regarding animals and dogs specifically. And this one is another one about cars. Please don't leave me. 70 degrees outside equals 110 degrees in the car, even in the shade with the windows open.
Huh.
Let me just be clear. I have come literally seconds away from busting someone's window out before.
I'll be honest, I really have.
So my aunt and I, we were at the Target on
it doesn't matter where. We don't need to.
We were at Target and someone left their dog in the car and didn't open the windows at all on a really hot day. And of course, you know, she's a cop at the time still. So she just called into the radio room and was like, hey, this is Sandra Dirth, badge number, blah, blah, blah. And so they were there very quickly. But she told them, look, if someone doesn't get here soon, I'm breaking this Windows car, you know, in this car. And so they sent someone out, and I'm not exactly sure what happened, but the person, when they came out right as the cops got there. And I would almost bet that they maybe got a ticket over it.
I would hope.
Because that cop was not too friendly with them. So
we were at a Kmart. This is how long ago this was. We were at a Kmart. Wow. And my buddy and I, he's no longer with us, but my buddy and I were walking out of the store, and we just went in there real quick. You know, it's kind of one of those, you know what you're going for before you go.
Right.
And we got out there, and we got our shit, and we were heading out, and I saw this little dog, dude. And I love animals of all shapes and sizes, but there are some little yippers that I just can't.
I don't like yappy dogs.
As much as I don't like yappy dogs, every dog deserves to be happy and deserves to have a life.
Oh, yeah.
And so I basically, you know, I was like, so we had two options here. We can either, you know, do what we know we need to do and just kind of bust this window out and get this dog out, or, you know, we can just go on our merry way. What do you want to do? And my buddy was like, well, I guess we're breaking this damn window. And so he wrapped his hand up in his jacket, and his elbow, and used his elbow and busted out the corner window, and then reached in and got the other window. Well, when he reached in, he got bit, you know, but I mean, you know, he got the door open, we got the dog out. The lady come out, and she was quite not happy. And, you know, you busted my door out, and, you know, it's just kind of, it's one of those things, lady. Siobhan, I got those posted in there for you. Bam.
So, actually, if I'm not mistaken, Ohio passed a law that you are able to break a window in the case of a child or animal being stuck in a car on a hot day. Double check that before you go and do it. But if I'm not mistaken, I think I remember a few years ago them passing a law, basically like a Savior Act or something like that. But yeah, I'm actually gonna look that up.
So right there, air temp 77 degrees, asphalt. It's actually 125, and just like Siobhan was saying, at 125, skin destruction can happen in 60 seconds. So make sure, you know, that you, even the pads, even the puppy pads, keep them off the concrete, you know.
And
sand too.
A little known trick, you can actually use, of all things, alcohol, Aspirol alcohol. on the pads of your dog's feet to help cool them off.
Yep.
Because it absorbs and goes away so quickly, so there's no fear of them like ingesting it, but that can help to cool them off because of the
So if you guys are checking out the live show on the YouTube channel or on musicalproductions.com, you guys can see
found it.
You guys can see the Please Don't Leave Me, 70 degrees outside, 110 in the car. Even if the shade with the windows is open, still 110 degrees in the car. Don't be stupid. And if I catch you with your kid, which I consider all animals like kids, if I catch you with your kid in the car and the windows are up or whatever, I'm busting your shit. Or guess what? The cops are going to be called and we'll deal with it that way.
Yeah, so here I found the information that I was talking about. So, and this is from 2017. Can you break a window to save a dog in a hot car? As summer approaches and temperature rise, the danger of dogs dying because negligent owners left them in a hot car grows as well. Even on a day when it's 70 degrees outside, the temperature inside a car can hit 90 degrees in just 10 minutes. On a hot day, the temperature inside a closed car can shoot as high as 116 in the same amount of time. What can you do within your legal rights if you see an animal in distress in a locked car? The Animal Legal Defense Fund, the nation's permanent legal advocacy organization for animals, has some tips. If you see an animal in distress, call 911. Calling 911 is the first step to saving the animal's life. Most states allow a public safety officer to break into the car and rescue the animal if the life is threatened. Know your laws. Although 29 states have some form of hot car law that prohibits leaving a companion animal unattended in a parked vehicle, the laws differ drastically from place to place. Only 8 states, Colorado, California, Indiana, Massachusetts, Wisconsin, Florida, Ohio, and Tennessee have the Good Samaritan law, which allows any person to break a window to save a pet. Alabama and Arizona have bills pending. In 6 of those states, California, Florida, Massachusetts, Ohio, Tennessee, and Wisconsin, Good Samaritans must first contact law enforcement before breaking into the car in order for their actions to be considered legal. So, call like right before you hit the window, and then you're good. You know, not as you're doing or after.
911, what's your smash?
Right. In 19 states, only public officials such as law enforcement and humane officers can legally break into a car to rescue an animal. And that is Arizona, California, Delaware, Illinois, Indiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Nevada, New Hampshire, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Oregon, Rhode Island, South Dakota, Vermont, Virginia, and Washington. In New Jersey and West Virginia, although it is legal to confine an animal in a hot car, no one has the authority to break into a vehicle to save the animal, not even law enforcement, which is so messed up. Number 3, let people know it's not okay to leave their pet in an unattended car. When an animal dies in a hot car, most of their humans say they just left them for a minute. If you see someone leave their animal in a parked car, tell them that even if it's a pleasant day outside, the temperature inside the car can skyrocket fast. Cracking a window doesn't eliminate the risk of heat stroke or death. Get the message out with Animal Legal Defense Fund Sunshade. The Animal Legal Defense Fund has created sunshades that remind pet owners of the risks of leaving animal unattended in the car. The sunshade features the message, "Warning, don't leave dogs in hot cars," in lettering large enough to be readable across the parking lot. It also urges people to call 911 if they find animals locked in a car and in distress. The sunshades are available at the link which I'll post, and all proceeds benefit the Animal Legal Defense Fund. So, yeah. So we'll throw this article up there, and we'll throw that specific link up there too. I might just buy one of those.
I want to give a huge shout out, Siobhan, to our listeners in Australia. They've been chiming in. Julia Angelina, I want to give a huge shout out to her. She is from Australia, Southwest Australia. She just confirmed she liked our page, and she's been following us for a while. She said,
"Well, thank you."
So she's like, "Hey, I love Siobhan." I was like, "All right, I'll let her know." I'm sure it was in an Aussie accent that I could never repeat.
Yeah, no.
But I don't want to try. But so speaking of things that we need to try, so Music Familia Productions needs better equipment, and we have our Go Indiegogo campaign up. $1,100 is our goal. We've got $75 of that goal, 7% of our $1,100 goal, and we have 2 months left And hopefully we're going to be able to reach our goal. We'd like to get new cameras and new gear to support the local scene a lot better. We posted a link in there in the YouTube, and I also posted a link in our Facebook. So if you haven't had a chance to check out our goal, please head over and check that out. And it's 9:37. I got something on the comedy side for you. This is from the Fire Turtles. This is from your neck of the woods, Siobhan, Los Angeles, California. This is the iPhone song. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, hon.
Hello?
Hey, I'm on my way home from work. Okay, so I'm gonna be. Can you hear me, hon?
I hear you.
Hon, you're breaking up.
We're breaking up.
What? No.
iPhone, you phone. I wish I had a goddamn home phone. I don't get no reception, but at least I got some hella sweet ringtones. Cool apps, the Google Map, don't tell you where the signal's at. HD camera, but I can't call my own grandmama. She always thinks I'm hanging up on her. iPhone is not a phone, it's an evil little thing that makes me feel alone. iPhone is not a phone, it's an evil little thing that makes me feel alone.
Hello.
Hello?
Hey, your favorite grandma.
No, I told you to take me off the list.
Coming up.
Don't you people
Grandma,
call me
Harry.
anymore.
Grandma,
I don't want to talk to you.
My iPod's rocking. Well, I email all of my friends, and I know I won't tweet shocking when this call suddenly ends. Hold balls, drop calls, they don't reduce my fee. I only get clear calls when you butt dial me. I think I wanna sue AT&T. iPhone is not a phone, it's an evil little thing that makes me feel alone. iPhone is not a phone, it's an evil little thing that makes me feel alone. I still can't wait to buy my iPhone 8
Plus.
Mac blames AT&T and AT&T has got the nerve to blame me. The satellites are just too old and the towers are all on overload. The hardware's fucked, there's a new upgrade, was just so bold. And this 2-year contract is a stranglehold. iPhone and not a phone, it's an evil little thing that makes me feel alone. iPhone and not a phone, it's an evil little thing that makes me feel alone. iPhone is not a phone, it's an evil little thing that makes me feel alone. iPhone is not a phone, it's an evil little thing that makes me feel alone. iPhone is not a phone, it's an evil little thing that makes me feel alone. iPhone is not a phone, it's an evil little thing that makes me feel alone. iPhone is not a phone, it's an evil little thing that makes me feel alone. iPhone is not a phone, it's an evil little thing that makes me feel alone. iPhone is not a phone, it's an evil little thing that makes me feel alone.
Some good stuff right there.
So I just actually ordered the sunshades. Totally. Yeah, no, they're great. Like, it's huge. It's a big sign on both sides. It says, warning, do not leave dogs in hot cars. Call 911 to report. And I you can't see as well what it says. But, yeah, I mean, it's huge. Like, yeah. And they're buy one, get one free, and $20 and $10 for shipping. So for $30, you get 2 of them. Totally worth it to me. So
Okay.
I have 2 cars, so I just bought them.
Okay. Hey, so Diana. So she says, thanks, I have CBD oil. I will ask my PD if it is okay to use with the meds that I'm on now. I don't know exactly what meds you're on, and it's obviously none of my business, so I apologize for getting nosy. But I'm pretty sure that the CBD stuff is actually user-friendly with most medications.
I would say like 90% of the time it's not going to interact with any meds you're on. But definitely always check with your doctor first.
100. And I don't blame you at all for that. But we definitely have more information. So if you need more in-depth information and you can't find it, Diana, just reach out to one of us. Feel free to add Siobhan on Facebook as well, and we will help you out as well. So we got Douchebag Criminals coming up, and Douchebag Criminals is sponsored by Calhoun Plumbing Incorporated, drain and sewer cleaning. If you guys need your drain or sewer cleaned, family owned and operated, my man Aaron Easton works over there. Great dude. Subtle Feud. Great band.
Absolutely. Love them boys.
Go ahead and call Calhoun Plumbing, 614-444-1995. You guys can give them a call, Calhoun Plumbing Incorporated. Full Nation AP, I'm a kidney transplant patient, and my doctor did tons of research, and as of now, it interacts with 0 meds. Awesome. That's awesome. And I don't ever toot my own horn or anything like that, but I am pretty proud of myself that I was able to. It's so hard to get Dave on stuff, you know what I mean? Like, because he's very cautious.
Right.
So when he decided to give CBD a try and we were talking about it, like, I was so happy that he gave it a try, and I was even more happy that he had success with it. So I just want to reach out, brother, and tell you, man, I'm so glad that you're recovering and you're doing so well, and to see you bounce back and be able to do all the stuff you do, man, and to be able to see you so happy and doing what you love, that's even more important to me. So, but Douchebag Criminals coming up in a little bit. Siobhan, do you have anything for them?
Well, I still have love news.
Yay.
I know that's what you were waiting for.
I mean, you know. So, yeah. Love news. I'm getting it. It's been a day.
Oh, yeah. It's time for Love News with Siobhan.
What's up, Siobhan?
Alrighty. So, how to get over someone according to a relationship expert. Is it possible to make getting over your ex pain-free process? Well, I figured, because summer is supposedly the time of change, so I figured this is appropriate, Ending a relationship is never easy, and it can be even harder if there's still love shared. But just because heartbreak may feel like the end of the world, the good news is pain won't last forever, and it certainly won't keep you from falling in love again. According to research published in the Journal of Positive Psychology, it takes 11 weeks to feel better after a relationship ends. But a separate study found it takes closer to 18 months to heal from the end of a marriage. In reality, heartbreak is a grieving process, and it looks completely different for everyone. Because love is messy emotion, and each relationship comes with its own memories and feelings, the end of any relationship will be a unique experience. And there is no set time limit for healing, as factors include the length of a relationship, shared experiences, and memories, whether you had children, betrayal, and the depth of emotion all play a part in the healing process. The breakup can also be worse or more painful if you didn't want the relationship to end. Fortunately, although it may not seem like it in the moment, millions of other people are experiencing similar emotions, and millions more have. Human beings are meant to form relationships and fall in love. And just as most people will experience love at least once in their lifetime, many will also experience the sting of a heartbreak. It is natural and expected to be upset and devastated at the end of a relationship, and even when the relationship might not have been a positive thing. After all, love is blind, and it has the ability to make people overlook their partner's flaws. This is the truest at the end of a relationship, when bad memories are often not overshadowed by good ones that make us question why we broke up in the first place. So true.
It is.
So true. But just like any other wound, heartbreak heals with time, self-care, and a positive outlook, and it is possible to move on. While no two relationships are alike, there are certain things that everyone suffering from heartbreak can do to move on. According to the relationship expert, Amana Major, there are 4 steps that will help you get over someone. Take time to grieve your loss. For some, losing a significant other because of a breakup can feel as painful as if they died. From seeing or talking to the one you love every day to having no contact, it can seem impossibly daunting to imagine your life without them. But it is important to come to terms with this new reality and accept it before you can move on. While it may seem appealing to fast forward through this period of sadness by keeping busy with other things and people, the reality is the end of a relationship requires a grieving period where we process what has happened. This is the period of time where those suffering from a heartbreak can reflect on the relationship and their own behavior. Rather than trying to suppress the feelings, allowing yourself to feel them is an integral part of the healing process. While you are reflecting on the relationship and your emotions related to the breakup, you may learn a thing or two about yourself and what you want out of a future relationship. Reconnect with yourself. In many relationships, the primary focus is on we instead of me or I. But the end of a relationship offers a unique opportunity to take stock of where you are in your life and then do something for you. Although it may sound cliche, the end of a relationship offers you the chance to reconnect with you. This may mean taking up a new hobby or reuniting with friends. Taking the time to do things that make you feel good, like seeing family, finding a new talent, or going on holiday will all help boost your mood post-breakup. This focus on yourself also means you can enter your next relationship with a self-awareness you may have lost. Rather than rushing into a new relationship, take time to focus on your relationship with you. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Rarely do people come to the decision to end a relationship at the same time. When this is the case, one side is usually surprised or shocked, which will only extend the grieving process. In addition to these feelings of shock, feelings of rejection can also be apparent when a partner ends a relationship seemingly out of the blue. If the end of your relationship came as a shock, it is normal to feel rejected or question your self-worth. But if your partner has made it clear that they no longer want a relationship with you and that there is no chance of reconciliation, accept what they are saying and focus on yourself. Just because a partner has ended a relationship does not mean you are unlovable or unworthy of their love. Rather than focusing on what you did wrong, focus instead on what you can do to make yourself feel better in the moment. If you think that blocking your ex on social media will help you feel less sad, then it's the right thing to do, as limiting exposure can often help us keep our mind off the pain. Talking also helps, but make sure you set limits with your friends and family about what you feel comfortable discussing. While you may be ready to talk about your ex, you may not feel entirely comfortable hearing them talk badly about your ex or your relationship. However, talking through your emotions can be beneficial, and often an outside perspective can be helpful. The same is true when and if you decide to get rid of the physical reminders of your relationship. While keeping pictures and other memorabilia is perfectly okay, it is also okay to throw this stuff away if it causes you pain. And if you have things that you need to return to your ex, having a friend or family member deliver them can ease some of the pressure and sadness associated with seeing them again. During a breakup and in the time that follows, rely on your support system is necessary for healing. Time does actually heal all. You may not realize it in the moment, but as time goes on, the feelings of hurt and betrayal will lessen. Reminders of your relationship won't be as painful, and one day, whether it's months or years from now, thinking of that person won't cause the same feelings of sadness and hurt to bubble up. Although time is relative to each relationship, moving past these negative feelings in the time we feel we need is integral. If this means ignoring the typical timelines for dealing with heartbreak, that's okay. However, if our negative feelings aren't healing in time, it may be beneficial to seek professional help in coming to terms with these emotions. As thinking negative or painful thoughts can be damaging to us and future relationships, getting back to a positive mindset is crucial. The first year will be the hardest, and understanding this is important. You will have moments of sadness and nostalgia, but as long as you remind yourself that the end of the relationship wasn't entirely your fault, they should pass. Do not accept complete blame for the breakup, but at the same time, try to reflect on what you could have done differently. Relationships involve two people, and a breakup is never the fault of one person entirely. But if you are still having trouble moving on or feel that your emotions relating to the breakup are affecting your ability to enjoy life, talking to someone can help. If you are too successfully move on with your life after a heartbreak, letting go of the negative and focusing on the positive and the future is key. This way, when you do find love again, you will be entering the relationship as the best version of yourself. Being able to love deeply is an incredible ability, and it is one that will benefit you as you move forward with your life following a heartbreak.
You know, to second what you were talking about, I just want to...
Well, I want to... So, the person that wrote this, Amanda Major, is a senior consultant on sex therapy at Relate, and also writes the charity's regular agony aunt column, Ask Amada. So, yeah. The website, Relate's website, contains further advice on getting over a breakup, and they also offer a free live chat with a trained counselor.
So I also, this is a time where I feel like I should mention it too. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, 1-800-273-TALK. That's also 1-800-273-8255. SuicidePreventionLifeline.org for more information if you need another avenue, if you can't find that avenue. The reason why I put that out there is because sometimes people take it to the other side of the scope, you know, and it's important that we make sure that everybody knows that we're there to support them just as well as the next person. So, but awesome, Siobhan.
So, yeah.
That's, I knew it was hard to get over, you know, like I was with somebody that was for 5.5 years when we were engaged, and it was really, what was hard for me was being able to trust again, being able to have a conversation again, and not feel like you're opening yourself up to like a punching bag,
right?
You know, and it took a while, you know, but I'm really lucky and really fortunate that my wife, first and foremost, I'm really fortunate that I didn't get married or do anything irrational before. Because, you know, I married my wife now, and we have a beautiful child, and we have everything going on, and it's amazing how life works. That's all I really can say to that. So, thanks, wifey. I appreciate you. So, do you want to do Douchebag Criminal, Siobhan? It's about 6 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's about time.
All right, so our first Douchebag Criminal of the evening. So this is kind of...
you mean morning?
Morning? Yeah. Man. Yeah. I did. That's what I meant to say.
Uh-huh.
That's what I meant to say. So... check this out. So our first douchebag criminal here. So I covered this story last week, and police say they interviewed several employees, one of whom said they served White, and a victim of several bottles. So last week I did a story about the Blue Martini employees. They called police after the Rolex robber returns to business. So this chick is a Rolex robber. She's been identified as 23-year-old female, and it turns out that she was arrested after nearly 2 weeks of being on the run for stealing $65,000 in jewelry from a man she met at the Blue Martini bar. The shops at the Mary Brickell Village, authorities said, according to an arrest report. The victim, Israel Sosa, met Kira White while standing near the VIP section of the bar around 1 a.m. June 16th. And the police said that they interviewed several employees, and White and the victim had several bottles of champagne during the conversation, all of which the gentleman paid for. Employees noticed White did not drink from the glasses and would just push the glass aside. The arrest report stated, police said White and Sosa left the bar as it was closing, and the victim told White he was going to his hotel and that he would pay a driver to take her back home. But White told him she wanted to hang out for a little longer, so she accompanied Sosa back to the hotel. Surveillance video from the hotel shows Sosa walking into the elevator with a woman. And Sosa, who's from New Jersey, told local 10 News reporter Nicole Perez via FaceTime that he didn't recognize White, whose name he thought was Megan, and also already had stolen his gold chain, he noticed shortly after all was said and done. Police said the two had another drink at the hotel room, and Sosa left his drink unattended as he used the restroom. Sosa told authorities he woke up after several hours later and discovered that White had left, taking his $30,000 Cuban Link gold chain and his $30,000 Rolex watch, which had a $5,000 medallion on it.
Wow.
Yeah, the victim said that she took $5,000 in $100 bills that were inside his wallet. I ran downstairs, told the front desk of the hotel, and everything went from there. Surveillance video from the hotel shows a woman believed to be White coming out of the elevator alone and rummaging through what appears to be a bag before she pulls out a towel, wraps everything in it, stuffs it in her purse, and runs out the door.
Because that's not suspicious.
Because that's not. White was arrested on grand theft charges.
I mean, the watch alone would have gotten her grand theft larceny, but you add it all together, and honey, you're looking at a lot.
A lot. So, black man falsely arrested multiple times after cops thought he was a convicted felon. Another case involving black people being stopped after being mistaken for other people has happened in California. One man is being reportedly arrested after police confused him for someone else found guilty of a felony in the town of Victorsville. Ooh. Jimmy Williams III has never been in trouble with the law before, and being caught in a case of mistaken identity is something that's happened a lot to him. He was falsely arrested this week as well on 2 prior occasions in 2006 and 2009. The man was treated like a criminal and sharing the same name as another man, Jimmy Antonio Williams Jr., who has a police record and is wanted on a bench warrant for the arrest. Oddly enough, the two men also share the same birth date, including the same year. So, with the similarities, Williams III lives with the added stress of police officers slapping handcuffs on him daily, even monthly. And the arrests have been particularly scary for him. Guns drawn. He's had 2 kids. His kids have been involved at gunpoint when he's been arrested. Williams goes on to say that I've had to be drawn out of my car, felony stops, with my kids at gunpoint, he said. It's been a real inconvenience for me, and I'm tired of it.
So I feel like there should be some way for them to, like, I don't know, put a flag on him or something, like verify identity or fingerprint him or something.
Question. So in the movies or in Hollywood, you see the ID things with the fingerprints, and they put their finger on it, and boom, they get instant identification. How come these guys aren't being with all these cameras and all this new tech that the cops got to have and all these millions of dollars that we spend? And we're just now getting cameras on cops. We're just now getting this and this. We're just now getting that and that. How come we can't just get our little iPhones or our iPhone 10s?
Yeah, fingerprint technology exists. Yep. So why are we not giving it to law enforcement? And then they all just, you know, and then it's not, and then you don't have to worry about falsifying identity. Put your finger on the pad or go to jail.
Right. Yep. And you know, the thing is, so what's funny, what got me thinking about that?
But the thing about that is then it requires everybody to be fingerprinted at birth, and people can't do that because you can't fingerprint a child. That's the whole issue. That's where that issue, but that's the issue. It's an infringement on your rights as a human being and your I forget which one it is, but yeah, it's an infringement on your secrecy of your life or whatever, you know, that. Okay. Yeah. But like Dave said, because it's illegal. Yeah. It's like them hacking your iPhone to find out information. It's the same idea as that. It's a violation of privacy. Ha! I knew I'd think of it. Welcome to the way Siobhan's head works.
So, our third douchebag criminal detective needs help solving Cookie Monster mystery. And it turns out that Miramar Police Department detectives are working to solve a Cookie Monster mystery. Detective Wayne Dunlap said he is searching for a thief who filled a shopping cart full of cookies and failed to pay for them at the Family Dollar store at 6830 Miramar Parkway. Officer Yinzi Diaz is asking anyone for information from 10:30 a.m. heist on June 12th to contact Dunlap PD 954-602-4165 or wdunlap@miramarpd.org. This is a serious, no joking matter. Somebody loaded up a large amount of cookies and ran out the door and didn't pay for them.
Does it say what the dollar amount of cookie is?
No.
Oh, damn.
Undisclosed.
Gotcha.
Enough to
warrant police investigation, but they must have just swiped the whole shelf.
An entire shopping cart.
Yeah, that's got to be like a shelf and a half of cookies.
Filled an entire shopping cart. And filled, yeah.
Wow.
So that's our douchebag criminal.
I'm sorry, I don't
that's our best douchebag criminal.
I don't mean to laugh, but it's hilarious. Like
that's the best douchebag criminal I've ever had.
Like that's like shoving meat in your drawers. Like the guy that shoved the 10 steaks in his drawers and trying to walk out. Like what the hell? Oh my gosh.
I don't know. It's funny because, you know, people see Lady Gaga wear a meat suit and they're like, well, if she can do it, I can do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Wow. I mean, of all the things you're going to steal, cookies, what? Are you diabetic or something? Like, I mean, really? Cookies? If you thought you could get away with it, which clearly you at the moment did, I feel like I would have stole something of higher value than cookies.
Yeah.
You know? I'm just saying.
Hey, so I want to give a huge shout out to my man Ray Shonk before we close the show. So my man Ray Shonk just released a book, The Calisthenics Quest. It's a comic book superhero calisthenics training quest. It's on Amazon. You guys can find it. I'm going to be getting my copy, autographed, of course, from the man himself. And hopefully I'm going to be able to get into some of this. Me and my wife, hopefully we can do some of this together. We run around the town feeling like superheroes. It's going to be great. So, shout out to Photo Nation AP, Columbus Events Group, and Lynette's Country Barbecue, as well as Lynette's Country Barbecue and Lynette's Children's Charity. Yes.
I'm posting the... Oh, wait. I don't think I can. Because it's a...
I also want everybody to know all music and music videos aired during today's show are not ours, and we give all the rights and permissions to the artists and musicians who create these works, just to make sure we show respect to everybody out there. Siobhan, have a wonderful week.
You too.
We're going to go grocery shopping. Yay. Have a wonderful week, everybody. See you guys Thursday, I think.
See you Sunday.
Yeah. See you.